Today, your presenters will be myself, Sue Full, Danielle Rose. Both of us have been working at the PKD Foundation for a while, and when I looked over the roster of people who were joining us today, I think I've actually met almost all of you in person or have talked to you on the phone. So it's great to have you joining us today. And it is my pleasure to welcome Chad Iseman with us today. He joined the PKD Foundation this spring, and he is our new Chief Advancement Officer. Chad, I'll turn it over to you.
Excellent. Well, hello, everyone. I've been with the PKD Foundation just short of 3 months, but I've been fighting kidney disease for over 15 years, and I've helped raise $25 million in walk fundraising over that time. I used to work at the National Kidney Foundation, so PKD Foundation is near and dear to my heart even before I started working here, and it's just a pleasure to meet all of you and to work with this great team. Today's presentation is interesting. I'm as much of a rookie as you are when it comes to fundraising in a new virtual world. It is an interesting time for all of us, but together I think we're going to discuss some good tips and tricks to make sure that your 2020 walk effort is memorable and fun and engaging and creative. Excellent. So for today's discussion, we're going to answer the question, what is a virtual walk and what are the components? Then we'll talk about how you can get started with fundraising, how to achieve success, and then we'll discuss some ideas for your team and donors. Most importantly, we want to hear from you. So at the end, we'll discuss and talk about and hear from you the fun and creative ways that you're engaging your donors and walkers. So what's a virtual walk? If you think about it, even during a normal year, the walk for PKD is 100% virtual until the day of the event. So not much is really changing this year. Fundraising using our platform is going to be just as easy as it was last year. Sharing your stories over social media is unchanged. You're going to get your friends and family involved, that's the same, and you're still putting on your walking shoes and shirt the same way. So what's different is that for the first time ever, we're bringing together the entire PKD community from across the country to share in the same experience. Even people who don't normally have a walk nearby can get involved and will get involved virtually. So in many respects, this is the biggest walk for PKD ever, and we're excited to bring it this year. You may be asking, what's this 10 days, one goal all about? Well, the goal we're referring to is the same as it is every year. Our goal is to raise awareness, to bring a bit of joy to our lives, engage our friends and family in a personal mission, and to raise funds and support for research for PKD. And for most of you, it's the biggest way to be involved with the PKD Foundation for the year. There are 4 main components to this year's festivities. So on September 4th, which is also PKD Awareness Day, we're going to build anticipation and launch the campaign with a special video announcement. Then on October 9th, we're going to start the walk with our start line celebration. For 10 days, you're going to walk, share your progress online, engage your friends and family in fun activities, and tell us all about it through social media. And later in the presentation, we'll share different ways you can make these 10 days special for you and your walkers. And lastly, on October 18th, we'll have our finish line celebration, where we'll cheer on our top fundraisers and sponsors and wrap up our first ever virtual walk with some spirited fun and recognition. We'll be sharing information through email and social media, so make sure that you follow us on Facebook and Twitter and that you're receiving all of our fun emails. So before we go any further, I just want to say thank you. The Walk for PKD only happens because of the involvement of our walkers and their supporters. The fact that you're here today learning how you can achieve fundraising success means this mission is important and personal. So thank you for being here, supporting the PKD Foundation in a very difficult year, but we're definitely going to make the best of it. So I've spent a lot of time fundraising for kidney disease, as I mentioned, and I'm used to hearing that the #1 reason someone gives is because they're asked to give. And that is definitely true. But the other #1 reason that someone gives is because it makes them feel good. So even though we're in difficult times and it may be uncomfortable asking for money during a pandemic, think about how you feel when you give something back. Altruism is a part of human nature, and it's a sense of contributing to something bigger than oneself that creates community. People want to feel like they can make an impact regardless of the size. to help our friends, family, and community advance. So before asking for money, remind yourself that you are giving someone a chance to feel good and make a difference, especially in times like these when we need more of both. And if someone says no, don't sweat it. Everyone hears no. It's the people that keep trying that are able to make true impact. So if you're getting a few no's, you're probably doing it right. And also think in small chunks. You don't have to ask for $500, but you can ask 20 people for $25. Later on, we'll be sharing a roadmap to 500 and some other tips and tricks, which really breaks down how to fundraise for success into small pieces. And to get into some of the fundraising components of our website, I'm going to pass things over to Sue.
Thanks, Chad. Well, as Chad said, all of you have done the first step in getting registered and joining us today for this webinar. And I wanted to spend a little bit of time to talk about your fundraising page. This is the hub of all of your fundraising activity and the place where people can see your progress and be a part of your journey through your fundraising and celebrate your successes with you. If you joined as an individual or as a team, you will have a page. If you have a team set up, you'll have an individual page and you will also have a team page. Every person that you get to join your team will then, their fundraising will add up into your team total. So you can watch each other's progress individually and then watch your team progress grow as everyone's fundraising grows together. It is said that participants who use their fundraising page will raise 6 times or more money than people who do not use their page. It is a great place to, again, center your activity, tell your story, make a picture and make it personal so you can have all of your information there in a one-stop shop so your donors can again feel good about what they're doing and giving back to, and they'll feel good giving to you. By updating this page, you're making it personal and you're sharing why this mission is so important to you. And by doing that, you're helping your donors feel good and understand what they are giving to. So to get started, as Chad mentioned, we have a brand new Team Captain Handbook. The Team Captain Handbook is at walkforpkd.org, and it can be downloaded under the fundraising tab. Some of the great things that are there is a page about maximizing your fundraising page. So some of the things I just mentioned, like uploading a photo, sharing your story, getting yourself started with a self-donation, using email to get a message out there. There's 6 steps to get you through that fundraising page and get it set up and get you on your way to fundraising success. There's a sheet about how to build your team and what makes a strong team for fundraising. There's a sheet about asking for the donations and how you can break down the barriers and make it easier and break it down into bite-sized pieces. And there's also that roadmap to $500. And whether your goal is $500, $1,000, or $100, breaking it down into small pieces will help you get to that goal easier, and it will seem like a fun path to get to your goal. And last but not least, remember to thank your donors. There's even a way to interact with your donors on your page at the bottom, and it can just keep the conversation going and really give people that great feeling and reinforce how important it is to you that they are giving to this cause. So personal fundraising really does drive your fundraising the most, but then there's other things that can be done that help really fill in where you might have some gaps in your fundraising. There are many ideas on this page and many, many more that I know that people have come up with. We had somebody on the call last night who was doing a press-on nails fundraiser because she was doing it herself, and so she opened it up and it already raised $100 by getting a % of sales back from those sales. There's lawn service, odd jobs around in the neighborhood. Fall is a great time for people to do yard work, so you can offer to do some of that. You can ask your friends and family to donate what they would do in a carryout for a lunch or their coffee and tea for the month. You could go with the 10 friends for $10. And we also have had a lot of people have success with donating their birthdays. At this time where people aren't getting together as much, you can either have somebody donate the cost that they would spend to take you out for your birthday, or even the gifts that they would give you. So those are some ideas to help kind of fill in the gaps in your fundraising, fun ways that you can get people involved and actually give them a way to think about how that gift is a lot easier to give maybe. Getting the word out. As we said, email is still the gold standard. People who are updating their fundraising page and sending emails are by far fundraising beyond everyone else that's out there not doing those things. So those are two activities that have proven successful year over year. And even though they seem like they're a little old-fashioned, they still work. There are templates for you to use in the participant center. You can make your email list. You can use your own email provider and copy in your short URL that is for your page and send out those emails. All they have to do then is click on the link, and they'll be landed on your page, and they can make a donation. And then they can also see your story, your picture, and all the great information that you've given to them to show them why PKD is important to you.
So I'm going to talk about a way to get you started on sending those messages out. It's called the onion method, which kind of sounds a little funny, but if you think about your fundraising strategy like peeling an onion from the inside out, it's kind of how it works. The best fundraisers start by asking their closest contacts first, the core. So this is your first email to 5 to 10 of your close contacts, family, your best friend. You know, start with people who are closest to you, and then work outward with those contacts, working, you know, from the next email, which would be, you know, your close contacts, your good circle of friends who you know spend the most time with, type thing. So then you'll be building your base of supporters, because these people who are closest to you are more likely to donate, and you'll build a good foundation of donors so that by your third email, when you send it out to your entire address book, your friends of friends, distant relatives, coworkers, everyone you know, they'll be able to see the momentum that you've gained on your fundraising page and be more likely to donate and be part of that momentum. Then last, you'll blast across your whole social media to anyone who will listen, and you'll be building a little bit of that FOMO. You know, your friends will see, oh, well, she's got a lot of donations, or oh, I see that Joe donated $5. I can donate $5 too. So it's really just building your network of support, showing your momentum, and you know, asking can sometimes be hard, but the easy part should be sharing your story about why you walk for PKD and making it meaningful to you.
Why you walk. If you make your story really personal and you let people know why you're asking for support for the PKD Foundation, they're going to be much more willing and actually very thrilled to help support you. So when you're creating your campaign page and when you're sharing emails and asking people for donations, make sure to be as personal as you feel is appropriate, and ask your walkers and those on your team to do the same. The more you share about your story, the more people will resonate with your message and be more willing to donate. So lastly, be creative. This is the fun part. We're used to walking in a circle for a half an hour, which is fun, and we have a celebration in person. We're gonna be really thankful to get back together in person soon. But this platform does allow for a lot of creativity. There are limitless ways you can engage your team and donors, and here are just a few. You can create a chalk drawing contest, make social media videos and post them on, you can post them on our website, you can send them to us and we can post them on social media and we can get the word out for you. Anything that's fun and visual is really easy to share over social media. You can take a drive with your friends and map a route by car or by foot using a route tracking app to answer the question, why we walk. Take a road that spells out the answer and post it on social media. There's some lakes in Kansas City that kind of have a path around the pond or the lake that have a shape similar to a kidney. We've seen some people taking walks and posting those images on social media. You can start a team scavenger hunt in your community and set up a pledge for the number of items that you can find, or you can even take that live on Facebook and share with your friends and family. Or you can play virtual bingo on House Party or other online apps. And lastly, you can start a step competition and ask for pledges. Think about it, 10,000 steps a day from October 9th to the 18th would be 100,000 steps. That's an impressive number. You could start a pledge and ask people to support you financially based on the number of steps that you take. You can walk 500,000 steps if you get your whole entire team together and ask them to walk between October 9th and October 18th. And that's a pretty impressive number. So how many steps could your entire team take if you walked for a week and dedicated your tracking to trying to achieve some really impressive number? That could be a team goal. But what other ideas do you guys have? We, again, went from walking in a circle to basically limitless opportunities to engage and fundraise. And we would love to hear from you what ideas that you already have about how you can start to fundraise and engage your teams together. We had some bake sales yesterday. Sue, what other ideas did we hear last night?
Oh, we had somebody that was going to have everyone on their team take a picture of themselves in their team t-shirt and walk at the beginning of the 10 days. And then they were going to post on social media and put each individual's person's picture up every day and ask for donations for their team. I thought that was a cool idea.
Yeah.
Kind of a way to still have that team feeling, but knowing that everybody's walking in separate places, but still bringing it all together. There was somebody else who was going to ask 10 businesses. So they're going to ask a business a day to contribute something because they felt like their team and personal fundraising was really strong for their walk, but they could actually, businesses was the place that they didn't have as much fundraising. So they were going to try that route because they felt like their individual fundraisers would do a great job on their own.